Hello and welcome. My name is Lynda Phippen. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Ontario, Canada. So glad you dropped by. I have a couple of seasonal cards for you, a stamp set that you can use for all 4 seasons, and I'm going to show you a sample. So I hope that you enjoy, have a relaxing time, and let's get started. This is the set that we're going to be working on this evening, and I'm going to attempt to do the 4 seasons with this wreath. So we will start with Christmas. Now I've attempted to make this look like a door with a wreath on the front of it. So I'm just going to show you how I did that. I have used 2 of our embossing folders. The brick and mortar, which is the background for the house, and then I use the time warp type for the door itself, just to give it a little texture. You may or may not want to use the texture, although it doesn't really matter so much. I just didn't want it to look maybe too dirty or too textured. So to get rid of some of the texture, I put it through the embossing machine a second time, so it's very, very subtle, but I don't think you can see that so much. So in order to get some of the brick to show up, I just used our smoky slate with a blending brush and just gave it a once over or maybe a twice over. And again, just to give some of the bricks just a little bit more dimension. And again, you may or may not want to do that for your brick house. So this is the wreath that I used for the Christmas card, and it is out of the green foil. And this is something, these are called Enamel Basics. They're enamel effects, and it's just a liquid that you squeeze very gently and it becomes like a little dot. So I did that on the wreath itself, and the first time I did it, I had the layering part behind it, but I found that if it's not flat, that some of your circles will become squares, and we don't want that. So it's just a matter of giving it a little squeeze. But you do want to let it dry. So I let it dry overnight, but because I kind of forgot about it. So it may not need to go that long. And even though some of them don't look like they're round, they tend to dry, except for this one that put a little bit too much on. But it is, okay, so there's what I did. And of course, we'll let this one off to the side to dry. And the one that I have is, that's what it looks like. And they're hard, not a problem at all. So you really want to make sure that they are dry. So we're going to build our house with a front door, and I'm going to use the textured piece. So I left just a little bit on the bottom and tried to get it centered the best that I could. Okay. Now, often on doors you will see some panels. So I've taken, and I've left the measurements below. There are just 3 pieces of cardstock. And so I'm going to put them on at the same time. So this is like building a house. And so you can't really see the texture of the that I put on our door panels, our door and the panels. Okay, so this particular door is going to have these little panels. And I put some little decorations on the side of the door. So I need to lift the door up and just slide them under. Unless I put this one on the side, maybe this side will do. So just lift it up. And there we go, we've got one little decoration on that side, and this little decoration on this side. And if it doesn't really want to cooperate, you just make it work. So we'll just take some scissors on this side and just cut it off. So just, okay. And when it sticks to your fingers, my goodness. Okay, and the wreath we'll put on. This has a die that will cut this out, and it will also cut this piece out, which I made, I just stamped on it Evening Evergreen onto the evergreen sheet of cardstock, just again to give it a little dimension. So we'll get our glue on this. And we'll see how much glue I can get on my fingers. Probably doesn't help that I put my fingers in it. Okay, so that is the wreath. Just get a wipe and wipe my hands here. Okay, so we can put some dimensions on it, or we can just glue it right onto the door, which I think we're just going to do. So there we go, we've got, the glue will dry. Okay, then there's this really cute little bow that I put some of these gold holly leaves behind it. So we got that on the top. And I put a holly leaf behind each of our little, I forget what you call these things. This Christmas decorations here on the side. Planters, planters, there we go. Okay, then I just have Merry Christmas on here. Now, I also found in my stash of things this Snowfall accent puff paint. So on the card is you simply just put it on and you take your embossing tool and heat it. Now I'm going to tell you, because this is how we learn together, not to leave your heat tool on too long, because it gets very hot and it takes just a little bit longer than your embossing powders to come out. But doesn't that look neat? So you can put it on or you can just leave it off. It is up to you. So we're just going to put some glue on our base. Put the front on our card. And there is Christmas. I didn't put any extra dimension or little jewels on because I felt, because we have so many of these little red pieces, that it was okay. But you know, it's whatever you wish to do. So this is card number 1, Christmas. So we have 3 more seasons to go. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. This, of course, is a fall card, and this wreath is just the branches die cut out, and if you think this was great to be able to use these dies, because they cut out 3 at a time. So and then the 3 different colors that I used, it didn't take long at all to cut out some leaves for our card. So this is the designer series paper that comes with this suite, if you like it. And it is full of lots of plaids and fun things like that for sure. So I'm quite enjoyed using it. And the first thing we're going to do is just put some dimensions on our wreath. And I did that so that we could put leaves on the wreath itself or underneath. So I just put that in the middle. And then I just proceeded to put on the leaves. So I like to stamp on the color using the same color that I'm using. So in this case, it's pumpkin pie. So I stamp the stamp itself in pumpkin pie on pumpkin pie cardstock, and then I don't know, it just makes it feel like it's a bigger object. So I'm just going to show you how I just put these randomly on. This is the longest part of the of the card itself. So again, if you do things in 3s, kind of helps to keep it coordinated. Don't worry about the glue, as it will dry clear. So there we go. And pumpkin pie. Then we have some Daffodil Delight, and I think I've got too much glue on there. And then I use some real red, which again, I have too much glue on there. Now sometimes you can make it as simple as you wish, or as detailed as you wish. And there's no right or wrong way of doing it. So then you can add some on the inside. And let's see, we don't have red here. And then we can put this one on the inside. Then you can add a few on the outside to give it lots of fullness, or you can stop there. So let's just stop there for now. And I've added some of this twine. This is threaded twine. It has a little bit of silver in it. So I cut the pieces, and I'm going to make two lines of glue, stick this on, and then I have for the sentiment, grateful. And then, okay, I'll just get rid of our leaves here. There are these sequins that I added, so I'm just gonna get some of them out. And I'm sure you've come across this, it's called a jewel picker, and it is a little sticky on the end, so it helps you pick them up and decide where you want to put them. This one decided it wanted to go on already. So let's see, we'll put one there, one there, one there of these brown ones. So there we've got that. Now how easy is that? Okay. And then in this collection are these orange ones, gold, red, and green. And I just, bought them from the catalog, and I'm really happy that I did because they're pretty awesome. Okay, we got lots of glue there, so let's just put glue there. And we'll put one right there. So again, sticking with odd numbers. And of course, we just need to trim off this excess twine. But see how quickly that dried? And there is our second card. 2 more seasons to go. Stay tuned. And here is our third card, a spring card, or my interpretation of spring. After a long, cold winter, just something bright is what we all look forward to after the winter. So this is spring, and I've used Petal Pink and Brushing Bride in this card. And what I've done was I used the Blushing Bride on white cardstock and the petal pink cardstock, so it gives a little dimension. And then the pink one, the petal pink, I used this wreath. So there we are, cut it out. And then this one, this is what this looks like with these two dies. So the fun part of this die is it has a little extra dimension that I just poked up for all of them. And I should have. And here is our summer wreath card, and I just love it. It looks much brighter in real life, but it's the greenery and it's what we look forward to after a long winter. So the most important part of working with vellum is to really have vellum tape. It is invisible because you don't want the tape showing through. Okay, I made the wreath out of vellum as well, so just glue that on. And again, just to give it some dimension, and I used the other layer, but this time I'm not going to pick it up. I'm just going to leave it again for the dimension. So I took some greenery, added that to our card. And I love the sentiment that goes with this card. It says, "Some people just make life better." And of course you have to chuckle because that's not everybody. But there are just some special people in our lives that makes life better. Grandkids are a great example. Love those grandkids. Okay, you know what? I got one more left. I'm just going to add that on. Too much glue. There we go. And then I've used sorry about that, just getting a wipe from all the glue. I've already put glue dots on our flowers, and these flowers are called loose flower flourishes, and I've not used them before, so I was quite excited to see them in my stash. Okay, I don't want that one there. I want that one up there. And this one can go down here. And then they have these tiny little ones that can go in the middle of our flowers. maybe I don't need this one. Oh, we'll stick it on here anyway. Okay. Then I just added some dimension to the sentiment. And I can't believe where this summer has gone. And now we're looking at the fall, Christmas, spring, and summer again. Time goes quickly, I think, especially as we get older. And there is our summer card. So I hope you've come away with some ideas, and I hope you've enjoyed these cards, because I did enjoy putting them together. And we do have all seasons. So it certainly is a great set and very versatile. So thank you for dropping by. Thank you for your kind comments and your subscriptions. And I will see you again next week. Have a great, wonderful week. Bye for now.